So last time that we discussed about the list, the approximately we discussed 10 to 15, I suppose 15, the method that are associated with the list that we discussed already. Now the next one is just giving you just the simple recap. The method that we did len, okay, and after that we iterate the objects, we iterate the items, and then we do the split, okay, with the help of split that you can create the list, then remove, okay, pop, index, and I suppose there is one more method. What is the difference between index and this remove and pop that we describe into the great detail. Then after we make a one short program that was the on the special request from the Ajay sir, that how many, if you want to suppose remove the the n number of similar items, so we made a program for the same. So this is all about your the basics of the list. Now we will move further for the next method. What are the next methods that are available with this list? So the next one is your reverse method. Okay, now what is the meaning of the reverse? Name specify itself that if you want to do the reverse of this list, 10, 20, 30, 40, okay, what you want to do, you want to reverse it. So for reversing it, let's suppose what output you will get 40, 30, 20 and 10. You will get this output. So for reversing the list, there is one beautiful method. That method name is called reverse. So what I have to do, L dot reverse. That's it. REVERSE. Okay, reverse. Now what this method will do? This method will reverse the list. The first index become the last one, and the last index will become the first element. So this is the way to reverse a list. Sometimes the requirement is this one, that you want to reverse the list. So let's suppose there are the people are coming, and what you want to process the last one first, okay, then you want to process this one, then you want to process this one, then you want to process this one and this one. Two ways are there. The one way is that you can use the predefined method. The second way is that you have to create your own method. So we know how we can reverse it. So very simple. This is the another way. This will the reverse of the entire list. Okay, so choice is again your one, what you want to do. So this will automatically change the data of this one, and here in this case what you have to do, you have to reassign the values after doing the reversing. But here the concept of the mutable, when I use this reverse, automatically the original content has been changed. That content has been reversed. The last item become the first item, and the first item become the last item. So this is the reverse method. Very simple, no need to explain more. Okay, the next one is your sort method. Automatically name specify itself. Let's suppose I want to sort the elements. This one are the element 10, 5, 3, 2, 8. Okay, now I want to sort these items. For sorting, that the method name is called sort. When I perform this, n dot sort. N dot sort means it will sort out the items. It will sort out the items. Now what output you will get? 2, 3, 5, 8, 10. Okay, so by default, if I didn't pass anything, I simple just write this sort. Okay, so by default it's sorting the data into the increasing order. So this is the increasing order. Okay, but you want to sort the data into the decreasing order. For decreasing order, now what you have to do, n dot sort. Now you have to pass one parameter. That parameter is called reverse. Okay, so you have to use the reverse. So reverse is equal to true. Okay, you have to pass this keyword argument. So now this time, the earlier this is sorted into the increasing order, now this would be sorted into the decreasing order. 10, 8, okay, 5, 3, 2. So this is the another way to sort the element, increasing order and decreasing order. When you want to perform the decreasing order, explicitly that you have to pass this parameter. Okay, this is the keyword parameter. If I don't pass over here, if I don't pass over there, then by default its value is false. Reverse is equal to false. That is the by default value. But you want to sort it into the decreasing order. So for the same, what you have to do, you have to convert this parameter to false to true. Okay, it doesn't matter into this scenario. Okay, in this scenario, whatever, if you want to pass it, then you can pass it. Otherwise, there is no need to pass this parameter, and by default, this parameter is false. But explicitly, you want to do the true, then you have to pass this parameter, and this concept is called keyword argument. Okay, later on we will understand when we will move into the function topic. Then what we will understand what type of the various parameter that are available inside the Python. So for this point of time, just keep this point into the mind. This parameter is called keyword argument. Okay, keyword argument, how exactly it's work, we will understand it later on. So this is the concept of the reverse, the sorting concept. Basically, we learn the one is the reverse. Okay, reverse mean you are reversing the items. The sort mean you are sorting the item. Both are different methods. So now the next one is aliasing and cloning. Okay, aliasing and cloning. Now what is the meaning of the aliasing? What is the meaning of the cloning? Now understand this concept. Okay, aliasing means to giving the nickname. Okay, to give the nickname. Let's suppose the name is Ram Kumar Sharma. Very huge name. Okay, let's suppose Ram Kumar Sharma is a list. Okay, this one is the variable name. Okay, make it more sensible. So I have a list whose name is sales data underscore Jan underscore Feb underscore 2018 to 2019. Okay, let's suppose this is the data, this is the list, and the name of the list is this one, very huge name. Okay, if I want to use this list, what I have to use? I have to take this full name. Okay, I have to take this full name. Rather than to take this full name, what I can do, I can use the concept of the aliasing. Now what is the meaning of the aliasing? Now understand this concept. Aliasing mean to giving the nickname. Okay, I am giving the nickname to this entire name. Let's suppose now back to the layman term, the name is Ram Kumar Verma. Okay, now the nickname I assign RKV. Okay, RKV. Now if I call this Ram Kumar Verma or I call this RKV, that's mean I am calling the same person. So this concept is called aliasing, to giving the nickname, to give the small name. Okay, so for the same what I have to do, I am taking now this time, just take a simple example. Let's suppose there is list underscore 2018. Okay, now this is the data, this one is the data, the list is containing. Now rather than to use this list 2018, what I want to use a simple name. The simple name is L. For the same, that this concept is called aliasing, list underscore 2018. Okay, so this time if I call this L, I print L. Now this data will be printed out. Otherwise, if I print this list underscore 2018, then automatically again this data would be printed out. Why so? Because I assign the small name. Okay, the memory inside L, the memory inside list, the both are same. Okay. Now both are same. The same concept. If I call Ram Kumar Verma or Ram Kumar Verma, okay, the two ways are there. The address of the both are same. They are located. I am talking about the same person. Okay, I am talking about the same person. The concept is here same, exactly same. Okay, assigning the nickname, and this concept technically called aliasing. Okay, so this is the yeah, similar, exactly same. Okay, I show you the practical for the same. The exact same, x is equal to y is exactly same. Okay, now check it out. Okay, let me show you. So you can use n number of times this concept. I already told you, rather than to writing list underscore this huge name, if you're writing huge name again and again, because the code into the real-time production is very lengthy and you are using same name, at one time you will get frustrated. So it's better approach. Yes sir, choice is again your. You can do this way because this is the concept that available inside Python. Sometimes the people use this concept. Okay, so this concept is basically referencing. Okay, that I am giving the reference to another one. Sometimes we have to perform in some situation, not exactly the real time scenario came inside my mind, but yes, sometimes we have to perform this one. Yes, sometime we have to perform this one. Let's suppose in the case of when function return a function, at that time this concept is implemented. Okay, now understand it. I am showing you the case. Let's suppose list underscore 2018. Okay, now this is the list which contain the data 10, 20, 30. Okay, now what I am doing, L is equal to, I am assigning this list underscore 2018. Now it doesn't matter I am printing this, okay, or I am printing this list underscore 2018. It doesn't, both are same because both are hitting on the same memory location. If I check the memory location of the both, now you can check, this is the memory location for L, and the same if I want to check the memory location of this variable, again this. Now again the memory is this one. The memory is exactly same. You can check it out. The addresses, both of the cases are same. If I made the changes over here, if I made the changes with the name of this, automatically reflected into this. Let's suppose I appended it, L dot append of this value. Okay, the spelling mistake. Append of this one. Again the spelling mistake. APPENDYAA. Okay, now if I print L, you will get the same changes. Okay, if you print this, you will get the same changes. So this concept is called aliasing. Okay, so to overcome this problem, okay, now you can consider is a problem, something like this, you consider it a problem. Okay, or it can be your requirement. It's depend upon the situation. Okay, sometime it is the problem, in some cases it is the requirement. So let's suppose if you consider it as a problem, then what else you have to do? Okay, what do you want basically? You want cloning. Now what is the meaning of cloning? That you want to copy. What I want basically, I want this L and this list should be different. Okay, this should be different. The address of both of should be different, but inside L the data is exactly same as list underscore 2018. But in future whenever I made a change over L, okay, whenever I made change over L, that shouldn't be reflect into this one. So this is my problem statement, because in other programming languages, when I do this, now what exactly meaning of that I am copying it. Okay, I am copying it, but here this concept is called aliasing. Okay, here this is not copying, this is just like a aliasing. So this type of question came inside the interview. Okay, this type of question came inside the interview or into the Microsoft examination as well. So what I want when I made a change over here, it should not be reflect to this one, or when I made a change over here, it shouldn't be reflect to this one. So this is my concept. But in the first scenario, I want L value should be similar to this value. So now observe this scenario. For the same, there is one beautiful function. That function is called L dot. Okay, L is equal to, or what you can say, L is equal to now list underscore 2018 dot copy. Okay, now this is the copy concept. Now you can check it out, the output for the same. If I print ID of L this time, and I print list underscore ID of, sorry, let me print again the ID of list underscore 2018. Okay, now you can check in the both of the cases, the content is the same. I copied, okay, I copied this content to L. Now you can imagine it, the value, the address of this one, this L is different and this one is different. That's mean there are two different memories. Okay, L and the one is the list underscore 2018. These are the two different memory. Let's suppose the address of this memory is 5364228 and this memory is 52301676. Okay, in the previous case address is same, both are pointing into this one, L and list underscore 2000. Both are pointing into this memory location. If I made the changes over here, that would be reflect into this, because I am making the changing over here. Okay, I made the changes over here, but here if I do the changes over here, that would not be reflect into there. So keep this point into the mind. Okay, let me show you this. Now this time what I am doing, I am appending the same statement that I am executing. Now this time L dot append this value. Okay, this value. Now check, if I appended into the L, okay, that wouldn't be reflect into the list underscore 2018. Okay, now you can check. Now I think the picture is more clear. So this concept is called cloning. Okay, this concept is called aliasing. This concept is called cloning. So I am copying it. In the both of the cases, the address of L is different and the address of list is different. So this is the concept. So the next one is aliasing, copying, and the next one is, okay, so the next one is concatenating. Okay, the next one is concatenating. Okay, for concatenation, the plus operator is there. L is equal to 10 20. Okay, L is equal to 10 20. Y is equal to 30 40. Okay, 30 40. Now what I want to do, L plus Y. Now you can check. I am concatenating the both one, but the original content is not changed. Okay, I am just concatenated and I print it on the screen. When I do the reassignment, okay, now I want to make a new list, yy is equal to, which will contain x plus y. Okay, x plus y, L plus y. So when I print yy, now this one is the new list which contain the item, that is, again this one is the list, and this list is made of L items and Y items, and L contain 10 20, Y contain 30 40, and I concatenated these two items and assign it into the YY. This is the again concept of the polymorphism. Now this plus plays very, the unique roles, multiple characters. When it perform with this, okay, then it perform 10 20. Now when this is performed with integers, then it perform 30. Now this time this is implementing over the list. Now it's performing concatenation. So this plus play multiple roles. Okay, this plus play multiple roles. So this is the concept of the the concatenation. Now no, minus will not applicable. You will get the error message when you perform the same thing. Now check it out, L minus Y, immediately you will get the error, unsupported. So plus is plus and multiplication. Okay, the multiplication something like this, L multiplied by 2. Now the items of this one repeated 2 times. This is again concept of the polymorphism. Let's suppose 10 multiplied by 2. What output I will get? 10 10, because this is the string. Now 10 multiplied by 2. What output you will get? You will get 20. Now this time this list 10 20 multiply by 2. Now this every item will multiply by 2. Not multiply by 2 means repeated by 2. So what is the 10 20 10 20? Okay, so this feature is applicable only with Python. None of other language support this feature. This multiplication feature. This is applicable only with Python. Okay, so keep this point into mind. So the next one is, L is equal to 10 20. Okay, Y is equal to, again I am taking same item, 10 20. Okay, very simple, L double equals to Y. This is the comparison, that I am comparison these two. If the values are same, then output would be true, because L value same and Y value same. Okay, so let's suppose, let me change the value for Y. Now this time I am appending one more and I am performing this one. Now you will get the false output, because the value of the L and Y are not same and you are getting the false output. So this is the way. So the next one is very simple, plus multiplication and equals to. So the next is very simple, L greater than Y. Okay, the false, this is false. Why false? Because the y values are more than x values. Okay, so it will return you the false. You can perform these operation as well. So the next is, let me take the ideal again. So the next one, yes, all operator that you can use: greater than equals to, less than equals to, double equals to, and so on. Now in membership operator. Okay, membership operator. So membership operator, same task, 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, I want to check out 10 in L. The output is true. I am saying 10 not in L, output is false. Okay, I am saying 20 in L, output is true. I am saying 100 in L, output is false. Okay, so these are the membership operator that you can use. No need to explain these more. Now another one is, this one is a list, but now what I want the every element of the list removed. Okay, I want an empty list. For the same, what you have to do, L dot clear. Now check this scenario. Okay, L dot clear, name specify itself, it automatically remove all the item that is existing into this list. So clear method, clear mean clean method. Okay, that I want to clean all the items. So this is the clean method. So the another one is, let's suppose again 10, 20, 30. Okay, so now del of L. Now what is this? Now if you print it L, you will get the error message, undefined name, that is L. Now what is the difference between clear and L? The clear mean name specify itself. The clear mean remove all the items. Okay, remove all the items, but the existence is there. Okay, remove all the items, but the existence is there. For example, for your land, okay, you had a home, but you reconstruct your home, but existence is there. Your land existence is there. Okay, this land existence is there. So this is concept of the clear. Okay, I am cleaning all the value, whatever data inside this cell that I want to remove it, but there should be the existence, but existence don't be removed. This is my land, but I am reconstructing my house, and what I did, I vanish out the previous one, but existence is there. Okay, this is the concept of the clear method. But in the second case, this was your home. Okay, but this would be acquired by government some of the government, the government construction company. Let's suppose they want to generate a land over the highway over there. So this is acquired by the government. Okay, now your existence is removed. This address is totally removed. Now this is a highway. Earlier it was a home, but now this is a highway. So same thing over here, delete. If you use the delete, then what is the meaning of this? I want remove the existence of this. I want to remove the memory of this. So for the same, del is there. So this is the difference between clear and del. The clear mean remove the item, but existence would be remain same. Del mean to remove the existence. Now L doesn't anything. Okay, doesn't play anything. So role of the L is finished out after performing this. So there inside your program you used n L number of time, but after this line, this existence has been complete. This existence has been removed. The memory is released. Whatever memory that contained by L, that is released. This is the difference between del and clear. So keep this point into mind. Again, this question is inside the Microsoft examination. Now, the next is nested list. Okay, the same thing. Nested, name specify itself inside list. Okay, list inside list. So for the same, let's suppose this one is a list, 10, 20, okay, 30, 40, 50, okay, 60, 70. Now this is the concept of the inner list. list inside a list. Okay, this is the outer list and these are the inner list. By default, this is the 0th location, this is the 1 location, this is the 2 location. Okay, if I print it L of 0, now what output I will get? I will get 10, 20. Okay, in the second case, I want only this 10. I want only this 10 for the same. L of 0. On 0 there is one more list. Again the index is 0 and 1. So what you have to do? 0. That's mean L0 at their 0 index. Whatever value is there, just print on the screen. Then the output would be 10. Okay, second case L of 1. Now what output I will get? 30, 40, 50. Because inside 1 there is another list. But I want this index and this is the index number 1. So for the same L of 1, 1. Now what output you will get? You will get 40. Okay. L of 1, 3. Now what output you will get? You will get error. Why so? Because I am saying on the index number 1, L index number 1, fetch the, the index number 3. So index number 3 is not available. So it will give you the error message. Okay, so let me show the practical for the same. Very simple. This one 10, 20, okay, 30, 40, 50. Okay, and one more I am taking 55 and 60. Okay, now this, sorry, the spelling, I made a mistake over here. Here you have to use comma. So this one is a list. This one is a list. Now you want process the 0th index. For processing the 0th index, you simply just do this concept of the slicing. Now you are getting 10, 20. But what I want on the 0th index, again I am getting one list. Again on that list that I want to process the first element. So you are getting this 20. This 20. Okay. Now same, if I want to process, let's suppose the index of 3. Now you will get the error message. Why so? Because I am looking for the third index and the third index is not available. So you are getting the out error, that is the index error, the index out of range. The index out of range mean I am looking for that address which is not existing. And I am looking for that index basically that is not present. So this is the concept. Okay, if I do this L of 2, now you will get the 55 and 60. But I want to process element on second index. I am getting again one more list, and inside list that I want to process the element number 1. So I will get the 60. Okay. So this data is present on 0th location. 0th. This is present on the 1. This is present on the 2. Now easily observe this scenario. 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1 and again 1, 2. Now something, I think something remember rows and columns. So if you want to process this type of data, you have to take the advantage of the 2 for loops. Now the picture is clear why we learn this type of concept at that time. Understand this point? This is the exactly same logic if you want to represent it. So this is the for the rows, this loop for the rows and this loop for the columns. So 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 0, 2, 1. So if I represent it into this format, then what will be there on the 0th row? I am saying it will execute for 2 times, 10 and 20. On the 1th row, it will execute for 3 times, 30, 40, 50. Okay. On the 2nd row, it will be execute only for 2 times. So this is the logic. By the way, I am giving you one assignment that you have to represent the data into this format. So here you have to use exactly the same logic that we covered into I think 3rd or 4th chapter. So the next one is nested one is also clear. So this type of situation basically used for the 2D arrays, multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, multi-dimensional arrays, for example, your rows and columns, row and column, something like this. Matrix. Okay, matrix. The matrix. Let's suppose the first is name, age, department, okay, salary. So this type of data is represented with the help of this 2D array. Okay, if you want to perform mathematical multiplication, the multiplication of 2 matrix. Okay, I think you might have heard this term into your school days. multiplication of matrix, addition of matrix, transpose of matrix, inverse of matrix. Sorry, this one is the inverse and transpose of a matrix. These operation, if you want to perform this, because these operation are used inside your machine learning concepts. Okay, because there is data in the form of the rows and column. You are getting the data, 90% data that would be into the rows and column, and you have to perform the operation, you have to process this data. So this type of problems are helpful when you perform the machine learning concept, because when we read the data, that is data from the file, again the data is into the rows and columns, and you have to represent that data into the appropriate format. For example, your Excel sheet, that you want to read your Excel sheet, and inside your Excel sheet that you want to perform something, you want to find out some insights. Okay, for that time we have to use such kind of logics. But here we are learning this core Python, so it take 4 or 5 lines. But when we do the advanced things, okay, the NumPy and pandas, the same thing can be done with a single line of code. Now at that time you will realize what exactly this one line do. At that time you won't have any question, sir, what exactly this line do, because we already handle this type of scenario with core Python with multiple lines. And when we solve this problem into the multiple lines, then when we solve the same problem into a single line, automatically the things become more easier. Okay, so advanced library for the data, you know, data processing library basically, that is called pandas, highly used into the industry in the case of the data analysis and machine learning. Without this pandas, it's very difficult to, you know, to process all the data. We can do it, but very difficult. Why so? Because you have to write the n number of line of code. For this matrix multiplication, you have to write 3 loops. Okay, you have to write 3 loops, but same thing that you want to perform inside this pandas, it would be done into a single line of code, only single line of code. Okay, this is the beauty of this panda. But at that time when we perform this thing in a single line, we already implemented this thing into the 3 loops, approximately 5 to 6 line of code. So at that time you won't have any questions on how exactly it's work. So that's why we are working hard on this. Okay, because inside pandas the things will become more easier. 1 line code, hardly 2 line code, hardly 3 line code. Okay, but here you have to write, you know, the 4 line or might be 5 lines for the same. For example, okay, just take simple example. Now this one is a data 10, 20, 30. Okay, and this one is another data. Let's suppose you want to perform addition on this data. You want 20, you want 40, you want 60. What you have to do? You have to implement loop, and that loop will process this, and again you will perform the logic for the sum. Approximately you will write 3 lines or might be 4 lines of code to perform this activity. But same thing into the NumPy and panda, very simple, d plus y. That's it. For the matrix multiplication, d into y. Okay, in the NumPy, d into y. That's it. Okay, if you perform this d dot y, then it's perform the matrix multiplication, and when you use this, it perform the element to element multiplication. Okay, so these things have become very easy inside the pandas and NumPy. But now imagine it, you done this logic with for loop. You have better clarity of the for loop. Okay, you design the, you know, matrix multiplication into the for loop where you use the 3 for loops. Now this time when you move this scenario to this scenario, now it will make you more, you know, it will feel you more easy. Why so? Because you know the behind of this scene, what exactly this dot is doing. Okay, so that's why we are learning this core Python to make our things more easier. So that is not our concern. For this point of time, our concern is this inner list, that we learn it into the great detail. Okay, by the way, I will give you 1 or 2 assignment for the same. Now, okay, so almost the methods and the function which are associated with the list covered out. Now the concept that is inside this list, that is the Pythonic concept. Basically we can say it the Pythonic concept. Why I am saying this Pythonic concept? Because same thing can be done with 1 line. Okay, with the 1 line. Now that concept is called list comprehension. Very useful and very memory optimized. It is very memory optimized concept, and it is used to, you know, it is used to convert your complex logic into 1 line. Very simple. Now understand it. last time we write a program to find the even numbers from 1 to 10. Very simple. What we did, let's suppose you want to add, this is the empty list, you want to add even number inside this. For the same, what you did, for I in range of, let's suppose 10 to 50, that you want to find out the even numbers. If, okay, if I modulation of 2 double equals to 0, then what you did, y dot append of I. This is the logic for the same. We already discussed in yesterday. Now inside this list, automatically the the even number will be inserted, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 and so on up to 49. Okay, up to 48 basically. 49 is odd number, that's why it would not be entered. So this is the logic. The same thing can be done in a single line of code. Yes, same thing, exactly same thing can be done in a single line of code. For the same, what you have to do, for the same, we have to take the advantage of concept. That concept is called list comprehension. COMPREHENSION. Okay, list comprehension. So how it will implement it? The same logic. So for the list comprehension, very simple, y is equal to this one. Okay, for I in range of 10 comma your 50. Okay, if I modulation of 2 double equals to 0, then I. That's it. You have to close it. Okay, and this is the optimized way. Let's suppose, okay, you are feeling a bit complicated this time. Let me take one more. Let's suppose I am taking this, for I in range of 10. Okay, and let's suppose this y is empty and y dot append of I. Now what would be inside this I, inside this y, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this would be inside this I, this y, with the help of this logic. Now the same thing if you want to perform with the help of the list comprehension, very simple, y is equal to for I in range of 10. Okay, and here you have to I. That's it. Now same output, exactly the same output. Now what exactly happening over here? Same thing I am I the same for the loop, this one loop. Now okay, understand this, how exactly this works. Normally what we did, for I in range of 10, now I value will iterate from 0 to 9. Okay, and what I am doing, I am appending this I into the y. So in the y 0, it will add 0, on the 1 it will add 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, let me do one more thing, I multiply by I. Now in first position it will add 0, second position I value become 1, 1 multiply by 1, third time I value become 2, 2 multiply by 2, 4. Okay, now 3 multiply by 9, 3, 9, 4 multiply by 4, 16, 5 multiply by 5, 25 and so on. Now this value would be added, would be added into this y. The same thing that I want to perform inside the list comprehension, for the same logic, the same one. Okay, rather than to use this append, what I use the concept of the list comprehension. I implemented each and everything inside the list. Now what did I implement? For I in range of 10. Okay, now I value becomes 0. Okay, I 0 is assigned over here. Okay, then in the next iteration I value become 1. 1 will be automatically, this append is automatically happening into this scenario. You don't need to use explicitly append. This is the syntax. That syntax is called list comprehension. With the help of list comprehension, that automatically the item would be appended into the list. You want to perform something over here, simply I multiply by I. You want to scale it, I multiply by 2. Or if you want to perform some kind of condition, this time, if you want to perform some kind of condition, then very simple, for I in range of this, if, use over here space, if I modulation of 2 double equals to 0, if this condition true, then this would be a return over here. If this condition is true, then it will added over here. If this condition is true, again it will add it over here. When this condition is false, then it will not perform anything. So this is the concept of the list comprehension. Many times we use it. When you find out the code from the internet, sometime you will find the code into this scenario, and that scenario is called list comprehension, and you should have idea about it, because I will give you one assignment for the same. Okay, one assignment for the same, for the list comprehension. Now, anyone having any doubt? Because I am moving to the next part, that is the assignment part, where I will give you the assignment, because this is all about your list. We cover almost 20 the method and nested list, and then this is the list comprehension. If you have any doubt, please do let me know before moving to the assignment part. No sir. Inside tuple you cannot use all these functions, because tuple is immutable. Okay, immutable. You cannot change the content of this. So that's why these methods are not associated with the tuple. For the tuple there are only two. Yes, there are only one or two methods. List. Yes, it is only associated. Yes, as with your tuple there are, I suppose, only two methods. Yes. At that time I said you will get the more clarity when we perform the concept of the list comprehension, and that is the concept of the list comprehension. And here there yes, that is the way. There we use split. Why we use split. Okay, and there we use this concept. Now I think the picture is clear. We use split as well inside that. Okay, and we know split return list, and here we are performing the list comprehension. So there two concepts are into that particular example. You already seen this, but you don't have any idea what exactly that. Now I think the picture is clear. That concept is called list comprehension. लग जाता है सर, लग जाता है. You can implement it. Okay. Anyone having any doubt till now? Then I will move to the cloning. Does anyone having any doubt? Mohammed sir, Ajay sir? Okay. What about Ajay sir? I think Ajay sir is not there today. Okay, no problem. So, cloning, very simple. The cloning is concept of copying. This is the items. Okay, these are the items that you want to copy. These items, copy. Okay, keep this point into the mind. Now, copy mean the two container. Okay, let's suppose the container 1, this is the water, and this is the container 2. I am copying these thing over here. Okay, now if this container contain water and I copy this water over here, the same quantity water over here, now inside this water I mix sugar, it won't reflect over this container. Keep this point into mind. But the content is same. Content is same that I copied over here, but in the next process I mix the sugar into this item, into this water. Now it becomes the sweet water. But this content has been changed. This content has been changed, but it won't reflect to this one. Why so? Because this is the copying. This is the cloning concept. That I am making one clone for the same, exactly same. But this time, when I make the clone, the totally the existence is different. Okay, the memory is different. The name is different, and you can say the address is different, but the values are same. The values are same. Okay, the values are same. So this is the concept of the copying. Now if I understand this Yes, two containers are going to be different, 10, 20, 30. Okay, now y is equal to L dot copy. Okay, now this is different container, this is a different container, and this one is a different container. Both are different container now this point of time. If I process anything over here, it won't reflect over here. Okay, if I process over here, it won't reflect over here. So this is the concept of the copying, that I am making the two different objects, and when I am making two different objects, obvious the memory of this one is different, the memory of this one is different, but content inside this is exactly same, because I copied this one from this. But in the case of aliasing, I am just doing this one, so this and this both are same. Okay, there is only one item in this case, and both are pointing to this item. So this is the difference between the copy and aliasing. I think clear? Now, time for assignment. Assignment number 1. The data into this format, 10 in a list, 20, 30, 40, 50. I already give you the idea how we can perform this. Okay, for this time that you have to perform, you have to represent data into the matrix format. For the matrix format, that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now, am I audible? Okay, assignment number 1 is the data is into this format, the inner list 10, 20, 30, okay, 40, 50, 60, now the 70, 80. What you have to do? You have to represent this data into the matrix format. For the matrix format, then what output I need? The required output is this one, 10 space 20 space 30, okay, 40, 50, 60, and then you have to print 70, 80. So this is the concept to represent the data into the matrix format. Okay, this is the assignment number 1. Assignment number 2. You are supposed to take two matrix, A matrix, okay, 10, 20, 50, 60, okay, and B matrix, 10, 20, anything, okay, 70, 80. So this is the B matrix. What you have to do, you have to perform A plus B, addition of two matrix. Okay, the assignment number 2, that you have to perform the addition of two matrix. Okay, assignment number 3, let's suppose there is this list. Okay, there is this list. Now in this assignment, what you have to do? You have to perform the concept of the linear search. Okay, perform the concept of the linear search. Now what is the linear search? I will ask from a user what you want to find out. Let's suppose user say I want to find out 8. Okay, now I have to find, is A present into this? If yes, okay, if yes, then you have to display the index of this one. Display the index of this one, and this concept is called linear search. Now how you will perform this? For performing this concept, what you have to do? You have to check this 8 with every item. Whenever this 8 is matched with your item, at the same time break the loop, and you have to print the index for the same. Let's suppose in this case I am asking from user what you want to find. He say 50. Now I will check 50 double equals to 40, double equals to 10, no. Then I will move further. 50 double equals to 20, no. 50 double equals to 30, no. 50 double equals to 40, no. 50 double equals to 50, yes. Now when these two items are same, you have to use this operator. When these two items are same, then you have to print the index of the same. Index for the same 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what output you will display on the screen? Your item is found at index of 4. Okay, so this concept is technically called linear search, where you have to check every element with entire list. Okay, this concept is called linear search technically. Case number 2, let's suppose user want find it out 8. You check 8 double equals to 10, no. 8 double equals to 20, no. 8 double equals to 30, no. 8 double equals to 40, no. 8 double equals to 50, no. And the list has been ended. So now on the screen what you have to print, item is not inside list. So this is the second output, second case. So this concept is called linear search. Okay, and there is one more concept, the fourth one, that is called bubble sort. Okay, bubble sort technically concept. Now the bubble sort is the random numbers are there, 10, 8, 7, 6, 2, 3, let's suppose again 2, 5 and so on. Okay, these are the random numbers. Now what you have to do, you have to sort these items. The concept that you have to use, that concept is called bubble sort. Okay, you don't know bubble sort, I know very well. For bubble sort, for this assignment, what you have to do, you have to go to the internet, okay, and search what is bubble sort on YouTube. Okay, on YouTube, go over there on bubble sort. Okay, try to find out what exactly bubble sort. In the meanwhile, if I got time, I will definitely upload a video on bubble sort and I will publish on the YouTube. Okay, my US Data Technology channel. So for in the meantime, I am not giving you the surety about it that I will definitely make this, the video for on bubble sort. But in meanwhile, what you are supposed to do, you have to search out what exactly the bubble sort. Okay, you have to learn it from the YouTube. There are a number of material regarding this bubble sort. Just go over there and think about how bubble sort exactly work. Then come back, try to make a code for the same. If you done this code, then very good. If you don't worry about it. I will make this code into the next class, and next class would be on Monday. Okay, so these are your 4 assignment. In the meanwhile, if any another assignment came inside your mind, just try for the same and try to cover the previous assignment as well. And if you have any doubt regarding these assignment, please do let me ask before close this session. Anyone having doubt for these 4 assignment, and very simple assignments are these. Anyone having doubt? Yeah, definitely, no problem. The video will be available within 1 hour.